As part of the LGBT community, we face extreme prejudice and misunderstanding in the world that we live in our society. However, it is much worse and it is much more painful when the person who offends us, who humiliates us, is our doctor or psychologist or maybe pastor or anybody who in some way has influence over your mental health, and somebody who you're looking up to for help, somebody who is supposed to be compassionate and empathetic towards you and helps you. And what happens when instead of that, what you get is criticism and humiliation? This happened to me 6 years ago in 2014 when I visited a psychologist in my hometown. He was supposed to be very renowned. People were recommending him. He had books written, lots of people on his social media and all that crap. I was struggling with severe depression. I was in a very weak point of my life and I was really struggling. And before I want to continue, I just want to give a virtual hug to anybody who is going through similar things and to tell them to not give in to patriarchal pricks like that. Do not allow anybody to tell you you're less of a person just because of who you're attracted to sexually and so on. I mean, this psychologist was expecting me to dress a certain way, to talk a certain way. He was outraged and personally offended that I didn't do those things. I was too weak to say anything and to defend myself. On the opposite, I crumbled and cried. And so, instead of him being a doctor and helping me as a patient, his ego had a nice victory lap over my broken spirit. Do not allow anybody to tell you that there's something wrong with you, that you should be somebody else than who you are, that you should dress differently than the way you do, that the way you accept yourself is not okay. Do not believe anybody who's trying to tell you those things, because these are people who are on the top of the patriarchal pyramid, usually white males, maybe females as well, and so on. It doesn't matter how they identify. But these are people who want to uphold their high social status, and anybody who doesn't fit in that neat and clean pigeonholing of society is a threat to them. Anyways, to go back to my story. I go to this doctor and I was dressed in some sports pants, like sweatpants type. I mean, I was really depressed, and just like a t-shirt, maybe I was like just a t-shirt and the pants and just totally black, and maybe my hair was not, done or anything. First of all, he was very offended about this because supposedly I wasn't showing him respect by being dressed like this. And because he saw me as a female, because biologically I'm a female, but I'm a transgender man, a non-binary, he started criticizing me really harshly, how I'm supposed to, you cannot just be both things. You have to pick a side. Obviously, I have to. So he was expecting me to be wearing a skirt and to be, I don't know, bowing down to him. Instead of treating me as a patient, he tried to impose on me his view on lives, criticize me for being who I am, because that was uncomplimentary to his huge ego. He wanted me to praise him and this and that. He gave me a breathing exercise, but I already knew a lot about breathing exercises. I'm a mental type of person, so I didn't really care that much. He expecting me to be like, wow, this is amazing. And because I didn't react like that, he lashed out even harsher, that I'm not like in awe of him. And this experience really hurt me. And God knows how many LGBTI people he has harmed. And unfortunately, this has been the way of the world so far. Unfortunately, in many countries, there's still plenty of those pseudo healers and doctors and psychologists who are a walking shame to their profession, who don't really know anything about compassion and empathy and seeing other people for who they are, who are constantly projecting on other people their own narrow-minded opinions and fears. And I want to tell you to take heart, and first of all, to tell yourself that you are deserving human being and you deserve help. If that's what you're seeking, you deserve empathy, compassion, and love. Just like everybody else, because we are all equal, as much as some white male pricks might be unhappy about this fact, but we are all equal, and there is no such hierarchical pyramid among people. Whether you are intersex, gay, transgender, heterosexual, male, female, black, white, Chinese or Alaskan, a doctor or a cleaner of a bathroom, intelligent Harvard graduate, or somebody who is in the dumpster all day finding things to resell, we are all equal. I don't care if you're the Pope or Steve Jobs or a president. You're just the same as me. You're the same as kid over there who has developmental problems and so on. We are equal in the eyes of the universe, and the LGBT community has humongous potential that has been suppressed for so many years and centuries. Because people like this guy, he really suppressed me, and I didn't speak out, but now I did, because this morning I woke up thinking of him. I hadn't thought of him in the 6 years. And in 2 minutes I wrote him a big letter. Not big, I wrote him a letter in which I expressed all this. I told him he is ashamed to his profession, and he deserves to hear that. I don't care how many books he wrote and all that crap. He doesn't deserve to be a psychologist. He doesn't deserve that responsibility. And accept that there are many people in this world that hold positions of authority and they don't deserve it from a higher perspective. So speak out, or if you're in a weak point, speak out later when you feel stronger. Don't let the anger and the anguish and the humility live inside of you and kill you, because why should a person like this, poison you with their toxic beliefs and toxic hate? And seek out people who love you and help you, and organizations, and these days there's more and more. And with the internet, you can always reach out through Facebook, online groups, online services. You can reach out to people who care about you, who accept you, and who can help you. And forget about all these men sitting in their little towns and villages and considering themselves kings, when they are the lowest of the lowest in the eyes of the universe, God, or whatever you believe in. Because any human being without compassion, any human being who is exploiting their position to hurt others, anybody who is stronger at that moment and is hurting the weaker, is not worthy of being called a human being. Love yourself, accept yourself, speak out. Be yourself, because we need you, the world needs you. The LGBTI community, if you're part of that, needs you to get stronger. If you're part of another community that's prejudiced against, that community also needs you. Because we have to create a better and more understanding and more kind world if we want to continue living. Otherwise, I think whoever's in charge of this planet is probably blow it up quite soon. I love you. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.